My friend, I don't know what you've been through, and I don't know the weight you've been carrying, but I came with a message today that will shake the foundations of your despair. Hear me loud and clear. God knows. He sees the burden. He hears the silent cry that never leaves your lips. He feels the ache that you cover with a smile. And He has not turned away from you. In fact, the very reason you're hearing this message right now is because God is about to move. A divine transfer is coming, and it's coming straight from the throne of mercy, straight into your life. Some of you have been walking through seasons of lacking peace, lacking strength, lacking support, lacking direction. You've wondered if God has forgotten you. You've prayed prayers that seem to echo back in silence. You've knocked on doors that stayed closed. You've watched others rise while you sank deeper into questions. But I want you to understand something today. God is not late, God is not silent, and God is not indifferent. What He's doing in secret is greater than what you can see in the open. God is preparing something so mighty, so exact, and so personal that when it arrives, it will erase every memory of delay with an explosion of purpose. The divine transfer that is coming is not something ordinary. It's not a handout, and it's not luck. It's the result of spiritual positioning, divine timing, and heaven's orchestration. This is not about you begging for scraps. This is about God declaring it's your time. There is a shift coming that no demon can block, no enemy can sabotage, and no human hand can interfere with. What is written for you cannot be erased by another. The delay was never denial, it was preparation. You've been forged in the fire for this moment, and God has been watching the furnace. He never left the room. He's been waiting for the fullness of time, and that time is near. Some of you have been surviving on just enough. Living paycheck to paycheck, living faith to faith, day to day, tear to tear. But a divine transfer is not about survival, it's about overflow. When God moves, He doesn't come with a spoon, He comes with a flood. And when He decides to shift something in your favor, there is nothing you will lack. The energy you lost is coming back. The time you feel was wasted is going to be restored. The people who walked out are going to be replaced by people who walk in with divine assignment. You've been in a waiting room while others have been in the spotlight, but understand this, a waiting room is not a punishment. It's preparation for promotion. When God puts you on hold, it's not to hurt you, it's to build you, shield you, and align things that are unseen. What is coming to your life is not random, it is targeted. It carries your name, your purpose, and your destiny. And when it hits, you'll look back and say, if I had gotten it sooner, I wouldn't have been ready. If I had taken that route, I would have missed the blessing. Thank God for the wait, because now I can handle the weight. God is not stingy. God is not a withholder. God is a giver, a provider, a restorer. And what you need, whether it is spiritual strength, mental clarity, financial stability, or relational peace, is already accounted for in heaven. You're not asking for something God has to invent. It's already prepared. The issue isn't whether God can do it. The issue is whether you will trust Him while He unfolds it. And let me tell you, your faith has not gone unnoticed. Every time you chose to believe when you had no proof, heaven recorded it. Every time you prayed when you were discouraged, it was written. Every tear you cried was caught, not wasted. The transfer is coming because your faith has pulled it down. And hear this, a divine transfer does not always begin with addition, it begins with subtraction. Some things had to be taken, some people had to leave, some plans had to fall through, because what God is sending cannot fit in a crowded room. He had to make space. That closed door wasn't a curse, it was pruning. That disappointment wasn't punishment, it was pruning. That loss didn't end your story, it refined it. You're not being punished, you're being positioned. And when God positions you, even setbacks become setups for divine encounters. Do not let the weariness in your bones deceive you. Do not let the quietness of the season make you think heaven is silent. Do not let the whispers of doubt drown out the roar of destiny. God is about to do something that will shut the mouth of every liar who said you would never rise. He is about to shift the balance in your favor. The ones who thought you were finished are about to see God lift you, not because you're perfect, not because you earned it, but because God delights in doing the impossible through the overlooked. You are not forgotten, you are not forsaken, you are not overlooked, you are favored, and favor doesn't need public approval, it just needs divine timing. And when the timing of God meets the faith of His servant, nothing can stop what is about to be birthed. There is a divine transfer that's going to touch your household, your mind, your future. It's not coming from man, it's coming from God. That means no one can take credit and no one can block it. What's coming for you is coming by the hand of the one who formed you in secret and called you in purpose. Lift your head, straighten your back. You are not beneath, you are being prepared to be above. You are not abandoned, you are being set apart. The waiting season was not punishment, it was preservation. God has kept you, not because He was ignoring you, but because He was saving the best for last. You will not go down in defeat. You will not end in shame. You will not break beneath the pressure. The same God who sustained you in the valley is the God who will elevate you in the light. And let me tell you something else. This divine transfer is not just for your comfort, it's for your calling. When God blesses, He blesses with purpose. You're not being lifted so you can sit pretty. You're being raised so you can carry weight. What you've been through has not been in vain. You've got something to say now. You've got scars that speak. You've got wisdom that came through wounds. And you've got the strength of someone who's been through hell but never gave up. An act of merit has got to get up. That's who God raises. Not the flashy, but the faithful. Not the loud, but the loyal. And you've been loyal to God, even when it was lonely. So prepare your heart, not for more of the same, but for the supernatural. God is about to release favor you didn't apply for, opportunities you didn't chase, doors you didn't knock on, connections you didn't plan. Why? Because your obedience pulled it. Your faith unlocked it. Your surrender drew it in. You've been sowing in tears, but you're about to reap in joy. You've been trusting in silence, but God is about to speak publicly. The same God who hid you is about to reveal you. And when He reveals you, it will be undeniable. Nobody will be able to say it was coincidence. They'll look and say, surely this is the work of God. So walk like it's coming, pray like it's near, live like it's already been done, because God doesn't give warnings without a reason. This message is not hype. It is a heavenly announcement. Something is being shifted, something is being released, something is being reordered, and your name is on it. Your season is changing. Your wilderness is ending, your oil is flowing again, and your joy is about to return. Stay faithful, stay humble, stay ready, because when God transfers, He doesn't trickle, He floods. When God opens His hand, He satisfies every need. When God moves, no man can reverse it. This is not the time to quit. This is not the time to doubt. This is not the time to shrink back. This is the moment to believe with every fiber in your being that God is still in control, that He has not overlooked your prayers, that He has not forgotten your name, that He has not ignored your obedience. A divine transfer is not about what you can earn. It's about what God has already determined, and what has been determined in heaven is about to manifest on earth. The same God who brought water out of a rock can bring provision out of your desert. The same God who made a way through the sea can make a way through your mess. Don't let what you see confuse what you believe. The transfer is not about sight, it's about faith. And if you have the faith to believe it, God has the power to deliver it. There is a shaking happening in the spirit, a stirring, a shifting. And when God shifts, things move fast, suddenly, without warning, without protocol. That's how heaven moves. And it moves for those who are ready. Not perfect, just ready. Are you ready? Are you expectant? Are you open? Because God doesn't force favor, He flows it to the prepared. Don't worry about who left. Don't worry about what you lost. Don't worry about how it will happen. Just know God knows. He knows what you need. He knows how to get it to you. He knows what time it will arrive. And when it does, you will not be able to explain it. You'll only be able to testify. God did this. You are not empty. You are not abandoned. You are not cursed. You are on the edge of something divine, and it's coming straight to you. Hold on a little longer, trust a little deeper, expect a little greater, because God is moving. And when He moves, He brings it all with Him: healing, restoration, provision, purpose, protection, and peace. The transfer is not just coming to your hands, it's coming to your heart, your household, your destiny. You've cried long enough. You've waited long enough. You've fought long enough. Now get ready. God knows you need it, and it's coming. Let me tell you something, and I need you to hear it with every ounce of your spirit. God is not trying to impress you. He is trying to bless you. But before the blessing flows, He often breaks. He doesn't break you to destroy you. He breaks you to prepare the vessel for what is about to be poured. Many of you have been feeling that break. You've been feeling stretched, stripped, tested, and torn, and you've wondered, why, God? Why now? Why me? But God answers not with words, but with outcomes. He lets the storm come, not to shake your faith, but to strengthen your roots. He allows the pressure not to crush you, but to press the oil out of you. You cannot carry the weight of the divine until you have gone through the refining. You cannot step into purpose until you've passed through fire. You see, God's preparation doesn't look like comfort. It looks like chaos to the natural eye. But to the spiritual, it's alignment, it's precision, it's orchestration. The setbacks are setups. The losses are lessons. The tears are water for the seeds of your next harvest. And that harvest, my friend, is not going to be common. It's going to be supernatural. You won't just receive what others expect. You will receive what only God can provide. And this is important. Stop measuring God's promises by human standards. His ways are not your ways. His timing is not your calendar. What takes man 10 years, God can do in a moment. He can open one door that changes your entire bloodline. He can send one opportunity that redeems a decade of delay. He can whisper one instruction that shatters every chain that's held you back. And He does it not because you are worthy in the eyes of man, but because you have been faithful in the eyes of God. Some of you think it's too late. You think you're too old, too broken, too far gone. You think the window has closed, that the moment has passed. But hear this: God is not limited by time. Time bends to His will. And when He says now, every force in existence bows. The years you thought were wasted, He can redeem. The energy you thought was gone, He can restore. The opportunity you think you missed, God can bring it back around better, bigger, and more blessed than you could ever imagine. When God transfers something, it is never random. It is always righteous. It is always measured. It is always intentional. This is why the process has felt so intense. You are not just being blessed, you are being entrusted. God doesn't waste His power on vanity. He blesses with vision, and He is about to place something in your life that will not only change your condition, it will change your capacity. You won't just be healed, you will become a healer. You won't just be restored, you will become a restorer. You won't just be lifted, you will become a lifter of others. You must understand that what you're going through has been shaping your spiritual authority. Pain forges power. Loss forges wisdom. Delay forges discernment. And without those things, the blessing would crush you. But now, God sees that you're not who you were. You've grown. You've matured. You've learned how to hear Him in silence and trust Him in darkness. That's why the transfer is coming. Not just because you need it, but because you're ready to carry it. Don't let people distract you in this hour. When God is about to move, the enemy sends noise. He sends offense, confusion, temptation, and distraction. He wants your mind off the promise and on the problem. He wants your eyes off the spiritual and glued to the natural. But you must rise above the noise. You must protect your focus like it's your future. Because it is. Keep your eyes on God. Keep your heart guarded. Keep your spirit tuned. Because when the hand of God moves, it does not wait for public consensus. It moves for those who are aligned, alert, and available. And let me make something very clear. You don't need to chase what God has commanded to come to you. You don't have to manipulate, force, beg, or strive. You only need to be faithful. Divine transfers are attracted to obedience. When you stay faithful in the dark, God rewards you in the light. You may not have the platform, but you've got the presence of God. You may not have the network, but you've got the favor of God. And favor can do what connections never could. Favor can lift you from the back of the line to the front without explanation. Favor can bring resources to your feet that you didn't even ask for. God is not looking for perfection. He is looking for surrender. He is looking for those who will say, even when I don't see it, I will trust you. Even when I don't feel it, I will believe you. That's who the divine transfer is coming for. Not the loudest, not the most polished, not the most connected, but the most surrendered. God can use anyone who stays humble, who stays hungry, and who keeps their heart pure. Your tears have been seen, your prayers have been heard, and God is dispatching things into your life even now that you cannot comprehend. He is aligning people who will support your next season. He is clearing out enemies before you even reach the battlefield. He is touching hearts in rooms where your name is being mentioned and you haven't even entered the door yet. That's how God works. He goes before you. He works behind the scenes. And when the curtain opens, all you can do is fall on your knees and say, only God could have done this. But hear me closely. Don't just prepare your hands to receive, prepare your heart to steward. The blessing is not about status, it's about service. What you are receiving is meant to be poured out again. It's not just for you to hold, it's for you to release. God is transferring wealth, wisdom, influence, and insight. Not for your ego, but for His glory. Not for your applause, but for the healing of others. The weight of this blessing requires spiritual maturity. It requires you to stay grounded, stay grateful, and stay generous. There will be tests, there will be distractions, there will be temptations to slip into pride or to doubt again. But remember this. The same God who brought it to you is the same God who can keep you through it. Don't look at the size of the blessing, look at the strength of your God. Don't let the fear of failure rob you of the joy of divine favor. You are equipped for this. You are ready for this. You were made for this moment. Your life is about to change in ways you didn't anticipate. Your season is about to shift so dramatically that people will ask, what happened? And all you will be able to say is, God moved. God transferred something from His realm into your reality. What was blocked is now flowing. What was dry is now overflowing. What was impossible is now unfolding. And all of it was orchestrated by the one who never sleeps, never fails, and never makes a mistake. So do not fear, do not doubt, do not retreat. This is the hour to stand in faith like never before. Speak life over your future. Declare the promise over the problem. Praise God before you see the evidence. Worship Him, and nothing will stop it. Not fear, not failure, not even your own doubts. God's hand is sovereign, and when He releases something, it will land exactly where He sends it. You don't need to strive, just stay surrendered. You don't need to figure it all out, just stay faithful. You don't need all the answers, just walk with God, for He alone is your source, your sustainer, your protector, and your reward. And what He is about to place in your life will not only bless you, it will glorify Him. There is a stirring taking place in the unseen, and though you cannot touch it with your hands or measure it with your eyes, something has shifted. God is moving beneath the surface. You may not feel the earthquake, but the ground is cracking. You may not hear the trumpet, but heaven has sounded the call. There is a divine order being carried out on your behalf. When God decides to shift a life, He does not need your resources, your resume, or your reputation. He only needs your readiness. And I ask you today, are you ready for the weight of what God is about to place in your life? Some of you have been praying for a breakthrough, but God is sending something greater than what you asked for. Your request was limited by your understanding, but His answer is flowing from His eternal wisdom. You asked for help, God is sending wholeness. You asked for provision, God is sending abundance. You asked for peace, God is releasing power. When God sends something from His throne, it never arrives empty. It carries a holy assignment. And what is coming to you will not only restore what was lost, it will establish what never was. Do not confuse silence with absence. God's silence is often His signature. He does not shout to announce what He is preparing. He speaks in stillness. He moves in mystery. And when He is about to deliver something sacred, He hides it in seasons of struggle. That's why you've been feeling hidden, not because you are forgotten, but because God is forming something in secret, and everything birthed in secret is protected by God until it is strong enough to stand in the open. You are not being punished, you are being preserved. The pain you endured was not in vain. Every season of pressing was producing a deeper anointing. Every time you were betrayed, you gained spiritual discernment. Every time you were rejected, you were redirected. Every time you were overlooked, you were being positioned. There is no detail in your journey that was wasted. God has used it all: the heartbreak, the disappointment, the long nights, the isolation. Every trial was a tool. Every obstacle was a stepping stone, and every delay was a wall of protection, shielding you from doors not meant for your destiny. Now, God is speaking in this moment with authority. It is time. And when God says it's time, heaven moves, angels go forth, and the impossible is made possible. There is no resistance strong enough to stand against what God has decreed. No darkness deep enough to swallow what God has lit with His light. No opposition fierce enough to stop what God has already released. When He opens His hand, nothing can withhold the blessing. When He sets His gaze on your life, everything begins to align. But hear me, this divine transfer is not about chasing things. It's about becoming the vessel that can hold what is holy. It is about transformation, not just transaction. God does not pour into people who are distracted by pride or poisoned by comparison. He pours into those who are empty before Him, hungry for truth, and ready to steward glory with integrity. You cannot walk in what's next until you let go of what was. Let go of resentment. Let go of regret. Let go of how you thought it was supposed to go. What God is about to do requires new wineskins, a new way of thinking, a new level of obedience, a renewed mind, and a purified heart. And be clear, the transfer may not always come through applause or open doors. Sometimes it comes through pressure. Sometimes God transfers wisdom through trials. Sometimes He gives you strength by allowing struggle. Sometimes He increases your authority by allowing adversity. This is why you cannot measure God's movement by comfort. Just because you're uncomfortable doesn't mean you're not aligned. Sometimes pain is the evidence that purpose is being activated. Sometimes the storm is proof that the seed is growing. God's system of reward does not operate by the world's standards. Man honors performance. God honors perseverance. Man sees results. God sees the heart. And the one who keeps believing in the drought, the one who keeps walking with no sign, the one who chooses trust over bitterness, that is the one who will see the hand of God move in ways unimaginable. You may feel unseen by people, but you have been seen by God. You may feel unappreciated in your environment, but heaven has tracked every step, every tear, every sacrifice, and God is not unjust. What has been sown in faith will be returned in favor. What was done in secret will be rewarded openly. That is the word of God, and it cannot return void. So don't let your current position blind you to your coming elevation. Don't let the silence of today make you forget the sound of His promise. God does not forget what He speaks. What He started, He will finish. What He promised, He will perform. What He declared, He will deliver. His word is not bound by circumstance or confined by time. His word is eternal, and it does not falter. If God said He would do it, He will do it. Even if every fact and feeling screams otherwise. You don't walk by sight, you walk by certainty in the one who never lies. And let this sink deep into your bones. What is being transferred into your life is not just for your pleasure, it is for God's purpose. You are being blessed to build, favored to fight for others, strengthened to serve. The transfer is coming not to isolate you in comfort, but to mobilize you for impact. God is raising up those who will use what they receive to glorify Him, not to exalt self. Your influence will expand, but your surrender must deepen. Your doors will open, but your humility must increase. The blessing comes with a responsibility to represent God in every season, publicly and privately. This is why you cannot afford to entertain distractions. The enemy knows he cannot stop the transfer, so he will attempt to distract the vessel. He will send voices that sow doubt. He will stir confusion through people close to you. He will use weariness to whisper compromise. But you must stay anchored in the truth. You must guard your gates, what you hear, what you see, what you believe. Protect the promise. Protect the atmosphere. Protect your peace, for you are carrying something sacred, and it must not be tainted by the noise of the world. You have entered a season where you must walk with intentionality. No more casual conversations, no more passive prayers, no more allowing circumstances to dictate your identity. You are a chosen vessel for a divine purpose, and the weight of what is coming demands discipline, focus, and unwavering faith. It is time to stop surviving and start advancing. Time to speak as one who knows who God is, not just in theory, but in personal testimony. There is power in the spoken word when it aligns with God's truth. So begin to declare, even now, my time has come. Not because I earned it, but because God appointed it. Not because I am worthy, but because God is faithful. Let your words become agreement with heaven. Speak not what you feel, but what God has spoken. Speak not what you fear, but what God has promised. For your mouth is the instrument that pulls the spiritual into the physical. Use it wisely. Now is not the time to shrink back in false humility. Now is the time to step forward with holy confidence. You are not walking in your name. You are walking in the strength of the one who formed you. You are not building your kingdom. You are carrying the evidence of God's kingdom on earth. And everything He sends into your life will serve a divine purpose beyond anything you can see now. So walk boldly, stand firm, and prepare your soul, because the transfer is already in motion. Heaven has already released it, and soon the world will see it. Now is the time to rise, not with noise, not with haste, but with holy resolve. This is your moment to step away from the shadows of doubt, to silence the voices that told you you're not enough, and to walk with boldness toward the purpose which God created you. Let the weight of every delay fall off your shoulders, because it was never wasted time, it was divine preparation. Let the burden of proving yourself be lifted, because God has already chosen you. What matters now is not where you have been, but where your soul is anchored. Is your trust buried in the opinions of people, or is it rooted in the unshakable truth that God sees you, knows you, and has called you? Look around you. Everything in this world is shifting, shaking, and changing, but God remains constant, unmoved, sovereign, present. And in that stillness, He is calling you not to be louder, but to be deeper. Not to impress, but to obey. Not to fit in, but to stand out in faith. The transfer that is coming into your life is not just a gift, it is a sacred trust. And what will you do with it? Will you carry it with humility, or squander it in pride? Will you bear it in fear, or will you multiply it through faith? God is searching for the faithful, for the broken who remain true, for the weary who refuse to curse His name, for the humble who did not bend under pressure, for the surrendered who placed everything at His feet. He is calling you closer, not into comfort, but into covenant, not into performance, but into presence. You were not made to just exist. You were formed by His hand to carry light into darkness, strength into weakness, and truth into confusion. This is not just about your miracle, it's about your mission. Not just about your blessing, it's about your becoming. So search your heart right now. Strip away the noise, the distractions, the excuses. In the quietness of your soul, ask yourself, have I truly surrendered? Am I walking with God, or am I waiting for convenience to obey? Let today be the day you return fully to God, not with conditions, not with hesitation, but with everything. Lay down your pride, your plan, your timeline. Lift up your hands, not for show, but in total surrender, because it is in that sacred surrender that heaven responds with power. You don't need more signs, you need more stillness. You don't need more answers, you need more alignment. And that alignment starts not in public, but in the hidden places, where only God sees. Let Him see your truth. Let Him purify your motives. Let Him break what must be broken and rebuild what has been wounded. For only God can take a surrendered soul and turn it into a vessel of greatness. Only God can look at the rubble and say, now I will build something eternal here. So walk forward now, not by strength, but by faith, not by feeling, but by obedience. And as you walk, know this, God goes with you. God covers you. God sustains you. The divine transfer is not just coming to you, it is moving through you. You were born for this, called for this, shaped for this. And no power on earth can stop what God has spoken over your life. Let your heart burn with reverence. Let your soul awaken with purpose. And let your spirit rise with faith that God is enough, God is able, and God is near. This is your hour, not to boast, but to believe, not to fear, but to rise. The time is now. God is calling, and the only question that remains is, will you answer?